Alright, until the NBB here, going for part 2 of my one night to get to level 50. So we can start grinding the max parts. Last time we were, just talking about the police in general while also trying to get to that max wave. That is not going to give us anything interesting. Let's get to that. Do I heat level 5? We are heat level 5, so we should be able to get to that part. I wonder why it's locked. Oh, I don't have enough bank to actually do that event. Funny. Well, we're just going for rep tonight, so that's not going to really matter a whole lot now, will it? So let's get off the radar here. I thought that was actually going to be breakable. It's not. But last part, we were just, in general, talking about the police and, saying that they were pretty promising, but then on the other hand, they are lackluster in a couple different departments. The one thing I kind of forgot to mention in the first part was, when we were discussing like the vehicle variety in the police, there was, the other waste potential that I noticed. We might get spotted here. Nope. Even though I technically was in his line of sight. Oh, we gotta start the event before they get here. Tee. Bye. That'd be funny if they actually still like got signaled to us. But no, the other missed opportunity was that the main antagonist, I've already forgotten his name. I'm terrible with names in the first place. In the first like 2 clips he was a part of, he drove up in the Explorer SUV police car. I can't remember what I think it's an Explorer. Don't quote me on that though. But you only see it once, and it's a completely blacked out unit. So I guess you could make the argument that that was exclusive to him. But on the other hand, though, that would have been a perfect, like, miniature Rhino unit for, like, heat level 4. So heat level 4 had Rhino units, and then heat level 5 had the SWAT units. Those could have been, like, the roadblock police units. So there's definitely a very big missed opportunity there to use that asset towards something else. Oh, we're going to get some heat level 5 in the middle of a chase going.
You've got nowhere to run.
The other thing I wanted to make a note is that my gameplay is taking place only in single player, or not single player, but offline mode, because I wanted to see how the AI kind of interact with the world when there's no other normal people going around.
Suspect located.
Uh-oh. That would end up working out pretty well. Nope. So it's just interesting to see like how they're gonna spawn, how they're gonna interact, so should be good.
What are we waiting for? Let's get those rotors spinning.
Look at that, we got the heli unit coming in.
This is my road now.
Sure. So on the
subject. This wasn't the plan. Can we get extra help?
Reinforcements incoming. Let's rumble.
So on the topic of the heli unit,
710, preparing
oh, we got a Rhino unit that looks like he got stuck. Oh, but he got boosted again. Nope, he disengaged there. I need to take a look back at the footage when I got hit by that Rhino unit before, because I don't remember him actually having his lights on. Which is a little weird.
These roads are the perfect place to set up spikes. So we're doing it.
So this is what I like though. The police.
Subject is traveling too fast to follow. I'll try to intercept them elsewhere.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought I went over those spikes.
This is Air 1. We're coming up to the TFR zone. We're disengaging.
TFR zone. Anyways, this race got really interesting.
This is turning into a one-man show.
But I'm interested because the AI I did not expect
About time we wrap this up.
I did not expect Rhino unit to actually fly around that much. They are not as heavy as I thought they were. But we did take some pretty significant damage. I might have to consider a repair, depending on how fast we lose these cops.
I'm gonna chew them up and
wow! That was close. Close
I
call.
could have sworn that there were a lot more of us when the night.
we're not gonna go for it. We want to use up as much of these health packs as we can. Oh yeah, I heard that guy coming.
Did you get the job done yet?
Control, it is not yet finished. How's about we put the heli in the air?
You hear those words?
So anyways, talking about the heli unit for a
Come
second.
on, it's like I'm doing this all alone.
They only really seem to be there just for an atmosphere. They don't seem to actually do anything. Because, like, there are times where the heli unit will be on me, and they don't actually keep track, so I still can escape the police.
710, we're in position.
So it definitely seems like some iron out. Hold on.
Moving in for a slam.
Yeah. So, okay, they do have their lights and sirens up when they go for a ramp. So when they don't have their lights on, they've been programmed to disengage.
We've arrived at the pursuit control. Really use an extra hand out here.
Superior pursuit units incoming.
But,
Brace yourself, there's some heavy armor on the field.
Going ahead.
anyways, so yeah, they need to do some work on the actual helicopter unit. Because yeah, like right now, the heli unit's technically in my radius, and they've lost me. They flat out lost me. And you can't even really see the helicopter, which is technically more realistic because you don't really see a helicopter over your head. I think I'm actually going to take the gamble and just go for repair unit now. This isn't supposed to be like how much I can do without repairing. I'd rather be safe than sorry because I want to get this max rank done, over with. So now I got no more repairs left.
What a shit show.
Nice. Well, it's your guys' fault. Well, we're back in the city again. I didn't necessarily want that.
I'm ending
So
this
let's go to
pursuit.
the
Get back
across
to
the
patrol.
street.
Copy control. Suspending pursuit.
Another thing that I did mention in the first part that I wanted to reiterate. The dialogue from the AI at nighttime versus daytime. The police in the nighttime are extremely whiny and are constantly complaining. The daytime units, they do a little bit of complaining, like of asking for backup and stuff like that. But they're more reasonable, like they say, you know, like they're asking on what road they are, where they're at, what's their current location. Like, if you listen to like a police scanner, you can hear, you know, the simple dialogue chatter, you know, the certain police code call outs. They don't do any call outs here. And comparing it to a game like Rivals police dialogue is amazing. Considering how the police in that storyline are supposed to be super aggressive and very like kind of like supposed to be martial law. I can't really remember the storyline for that well, but I just remember they're supposed to be very that skyline is messed up next to us. Poor Black Panther, you're gonna be happy over that. I wonder if I can still see it. Yeah, these cars are damaged. Why? Anyways, so the dialogue in the daytime for the police is great, but nighttime there's a couple funny lines. I'm not gonna spoil them, but if you hear them, you're like, okay, now that was a good line. But most of the time they're very cringeworthy. Which, that's what a lot of Need for Speed is, I get that, but they can at least try. Another thing that I almost thought they brought back, but they didn't do it, was the rap sheets. So back in Most Wanted 05, for those who don't remember, there was actually a way you could go onto Cross's computer. I think it was supposed to be from the perspective of Cross, not from your player. But you could sign in. Wow. That was a really big mess up on my kids. You could sign up onto the police databanks and check out like your criminal record. You could see like what happened in certain police chases, like what was your longest time during a police chase, how many cops you disabled. I thought they were gonna bring that back into this game based off of what I saw through some of the in-game menus, but it was only it was in the codex, and it was only just like a little like excerpt about the police. I thought it actually was gonna lead to something else. So That'd be a cool feature. It wouldn't be super hard to add, just having, you know, data tracking of, like, you know, police cars disabled and stuff like that, and chases. Kind of gives to the replayability for the police, because you could, you know, brag to your friends about what you've done. Hello, policeman.
You're all mine.
No, you're not.
Located the previous suspect again. Resume pursuit.
Everyone's still awake? Good. We've picked up our chase from the previous suspect. Get in there.
Well, so far the police in this race are very passive. They come on your tail for about half a second, call it in, and then next you know they get preoccupied with other things. So I do think though that there needs to be some sort of roadblock or some sort of something else to be worried about. Because yeah, they do the rolling roadblocks where they try to box you in the middle of like driving, but any person smart enough not to stay straight, like in a straight line when police are coming up behind you, you bob and weave, you get off the road for a second. You just don't feel much danger. I guess that would be my best way of saying it. There's gonna be AI police on this road, so we're gonna be making a left so we can keep grinding. We gotta get some more of that rep. Okay, let's actually try something up here real quick. That's got 27,000. Now, I totally could be going about this the wrong way. There's probably certain guides out there that say, hey, you should be doing it like this. But for me, personally, for this particular game...
All units suspending pursuit. Don't know how, but they got away.
Come on. I was just playing around. If I knew it wasn't just screwing with him, I'd actually go all in.
What is that dialogue, though? Honestly. I've been avoiding guides and like, you know, the best ways to farm, just because I kind of want to experience it for myself, because if I already know like the best way to beat the game, then it kind of ruins my incentive on achieving it. Like, I've already seen one video on how to get the most amount of money in the shortest time, but I don't find it necessary right now. I'm still enjoying the game. I'm still learning the roads. Now, the other thing I just wanted to briefly mention is I'm also not the most hardcore multiplayer person when it comes to racing games. And you could say that I'm a, you know, well, how shitty, like, oh, you must be a terrible driver in multiplayer racing games then, and, like, oh boy, hate. But for me, personally, I preferred going and experiencing the more single-player-esque aspects of the racing games, because back in Payback, my thoughts of racing in multiplayer were ruined when my fully upgraded Murcielago was outbeaten by the 2015 GTR fully maxed out in the middle of a race, because that thing was just flat out better in every single way. So the balance for individual cars in this game and all Need for Speed games in general are not very great. So taking it to multiplayer, it's just, there's nothing really to compete with, because someone will just say my car is better because it's the best car in the game. Whatever, like, I don't really care about that. So my focus is when I talk about, you know, Need for Speed and progression in the future, it's more like ironing out single-player elements, or, you know, ironing out the police especially, because that is what's really going to bring the replay value for me. Everyone's different, but if, like, in a hypothetical scenario, if they were able to bring the amount of content that Most Wanted 05 has in terms of, like, police chases, roadblocks, helicopter interactions, special units that chase after you during the chase itself, like, that would be such a game changer for me. Like, it would allow me to really feel like I could play this game for a year or two on end. But it's really hard to say. Ghost track history of DLC drops haven't been that great. The actual best amount of content we got was back in 2015, and the 2015 Need for Speed had a lot of smaller things that dropped, but they were good quality of life. So I guess we'll see. like I mentioned before, this is supposed to be a grip build Beamer, but I did initiate a drift there, and that was with me actually tapping the e-brake. It's kind of an old habit back in Hot Pursuit 2010. Why did I run into that? Big brain, dude, big brain. It's like right there, I kind of use the emergency brake to kind of prevent me from slamming in between the two. It's a habit I probably should break if I want to keep actually driving with the grip build, but it's just nice to have in case of, you know, that emergency of being screwed over. So far, the police haven't responded to this location very much, so I haven't really felt much of a threat. Well, Ray, as I say that, there's a cop spawns on the road. Another part that I probably could go into is the reinforcements. They kind of did the same game mechanic as Undercover did back in the day, where there's not really a counter for how many units are going to chase after you. It's just a generalization of being like, oh yeah, reinforcements are incoming, and then a certain number of cops will spawn. There we go. This game does the same thing. It'll say reinforcements incoming, and it'll bring in 3 to 4. But I feel like it's even worse than Undercover. Because at least Undercover, you kind of already had a pretty good idea of how many units were coming based off the heat level. This you kind of don't. I'm actually curious. This is some pretty windy back roads, which will give this officer a pretty good opportunity to stay on me. So
I want him caught this time.
we'll see how well he does. Well, here we go. We got a helicopter unit. We got a spawning Corvette.
Air 1, we're above the pursuit.
And there one. There we go. Now the back roads are pretty dangerous if you actually stay on the main roads. If you go off-road, then of course you're gonna lose them in half seconds. But I literally saw me hitting them a mile away. Oh, look at that! There's Air 1. Look at your model. I'm trying to. Can't really look at him very much. Little Corvette, how you doing?
10 here, we're ready to stop them.
That was a good maneuver. Alright, so we gotta be pretty careful now because
I knew the others weren't as good as me, but come on.
I need to get that
Can you send some visibility?
side icon off there. There we go.
Souped up units are inbound. Saved you the trouble of setting up the spike strip yourself. Now can thank me later.
Got it, copy.
That break roll? No, it's not. Wow, that did a lot of damage.
Subject is primed for the takedown.
The inconsistency of what is breakable and what is not is kind of aggravating.
I got visual on the subject's car. It's a fine looking ride.
Oh, cop that. So, looking at my health and looking on how much we have to go, I might need to bang. It's rough, I know. I was trying to hit that whole going to 44 to level 50.
Chopper is joining, so stand by.
But I also don't want to waste my time, you know. So we're gonna lose them,
He's on the way, you can thank me later.
and then we're gonna go from there. If I can lose them, right?
I've located the subject. I got zero visual.
So like right now, the helicopter is on me.
I
Oh,
found him. Repeat. I
no,
have
they
eyes
saw
on
me
their
there.
vehicle.
The helicopter
Somehow
was on
this
me,
driver
unless if I didn't overhear them saying that they had to go.
I got visual on the subject's car. It's a fine looking ride. Can't see the car or driver.
Wouldn't it be
I got
great if they
nothing.
actually made references to
That driver's gotta be
the
nearby,
most
get
wanted
looking.
game being like, hey, that car looks familiar from Rockport. So we're gonna go ahead and go bank. Rough it is. Can't be super try-hard when also trying to talk about the game in general, but I think it was a good experience. Let's not get busted on the way over there though, right? Went from 44 to 49. Not a lot, but it was a decent amount.
You were like a
So-
wildcat out there.
Woo. Well, thank you for joining me on this overview Never didn't technically hit my goal, but almost there now, so boom.
Got a few new parts for you.
Oh,
Wish
looks
I
like
could
you can
sneak
do
you
engine
some more,
swaps.
but that's the kind of
But
shit that gets
anyways,
the place
I'm
closed
just
down.
gonna round off the video here, kind of my initial thoughts about the game, and I'll be doing a more in-depth video about the police sometime in the future, but for now, this is gonna be it. So, have a good one and take it easy.